Welcome to Holoflix Prospecting. Today we have a special guest. He is a prospect from the Houston Astros, Nehomar Ochoa. How is that going for you so far?
I did good today with it's in spring training now. I got invited to minicamp, and it's a big thing for me because as a 19-year-old, I'm the youngest out of everyone, and everyone expects. I wouldn't say a lot from me because I'm young, so they think that I have a lot to learn, I have a lot to go through. But I've been doing things that no other player at my age has been doing. Well, I'm talking about from our organization, because I know in other organizations, like other players, and they do all kinds of different things. They hit home runs, they steal bases, make plays. They all got all the five tools. So for me, my perspective, I landed in a team where I can make a difference at my age, and I'm thankful for having that opportunity, and thankful for always for always having like the type of people that I have in the organization that got their eye on me, that always help me with whatever I need, and so on, so forward.
Yeah, I know that when you were only 17 years old in 2023, they sent you to Perth in Australia. How was that experience for you? I know you were 7 years younger than the average league player. So how was that experience for you? What did you learn from that experience being over there with people that honestly should be in the minors already, should be in MLB? How was that experience for you? Tell the viewers, tell me.
I mean, that experience for me definitely eye-opening because it's on the other side of the world. So with that, just to start off with that, it was great. I liked it a lot. I had great people to meet. Australia is one of the most beautiful places that I've been to. They're really clean. Their streets, they're nice. It's colorful. Everywhere you go, you see green. You see life in the streets. Obviously, it's not like here. Here you got good places, bad places. Over there, you hardly see any bad places.
Really?
Yeah, and for the team and for the teams, for the competition, it's good competition out there. Like it's really good competition out there, especially for me because I'm facing men that are ex-pro major leaguers. I'm facing men that are in the major leagues, that are in AAA, Double A, and it was eye opening for me. It was like it made a big impact on how I see baseball from my age compared to other people that are way overgrown for me.
Yeah.
That are overaged.
Yeah, they're older than you. They're physically, they should be physically stronger than you because at that point when you were there, you hadn't hit your peak maturity yet. So you were only 17, 18 years old playing with grown men, right? Way that are developed already. Their power has developed. Their hit tools, their five tools, if you will, have developed by that point. And here you are as a teenager, really playing against them and performing well. Because I know that when Houston signed you, they gave you the double the slot, double the money for the slot where you were signed. So they really are seeing something in you, and that's why they're putting you in positions to succeed, in my opinion. Because playing in a league where people are 7 years older than you are, that teaches you a lot, or should teach you a lot, right?
Yeah, it's not common for young players to play with people that already have way more experience than others.
And now you were telling me that you are in a position where your team is helping you and they're supporting you to do things that people your age shouldn't be doing. What are some of those things that they are showing you support with, other than sending you to Australia to develop, to get better? What are some of the other things they're doing for you?
Well, first off, they always keep in touch with me. They always worried about how I'm going to do in the off season, who I'm working out with, what I'm camps that they've made. Also, they added me to the prospect list, which is a big thing for me, which was the first thing that I was trying to accomplish my first year. Obviously, I only played 8 or 9 games in the rookie ball because by the time I was drafted, it was almost the end of the league.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really show my tools. Or I did get a chance to, but I wasn't fully developed with the system. Like, I was a bit behind.
Yeah.
And when they sent me to Australia, I kind of showed what I could do, but I really opened up some eyes when I started in Fayetteville. The people that I've been working with, they've always kept in touch with me, always pushing me to be the best, always pushing me to always maximize my talent and my tools.
Yeah.
And also, man, the front office with me, like they love me,
That's good.
Anything I need, anything like this past off season, I didn't have nowhere to work out, and they invited me to work out with the major league guys at Minute Maid, which is something that they've never done for the past 20, 30 years.
That's huge for you, man.
So yeah, it was a big thing for me, and I'm grateful that they treat me this way, and also because they also gave me the opportunity to play in Venezuela this year.
You play winter ball?
I'm playing winter ball. Yes, I will.
Man,
well, if the situations over there with the flights and Americans flying in and stuff doesn't get any worse, then I will play. But other than that, they also being cautious about me.
Of course.
Going over there and not coming back.
Yeah.
So.
What team do you want to play for in winter ball?
Well, when I got drafted, like a week later, I got a call from Caracas.
Nice.
That's always been my favorite team. My whole family there. Caracas.
Yeah.
They signed me. Yes, they signed me, and they made me their number 1 prospect.
Huge. That is huge.
So yeah, I'm pumped to play over there, man.
I know. Right now, there's a lot of Venezuelan fans that are excited to see you play in Caracas in Venezuela. They want to see you play, and they want to see Yader Arenamo. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He is a prospect for the Milwaukee Brewers right now in High A. Venezuelan fans are very excited to see you play over there and see him play. And honestly, that is one of the things that is very important. I was watching Maglio Ordóñez. You know who he is? I'm going to assume you know who Maglio is. Venezuelan. He played major leagues for many years for the Detroit Tigers. And he said that he believes every ball player should play in winter ball and should have 2,500 to 3,000 at-bats before they reach the major, because baseball is all about getting used to seeing the ball. Continuation, right? Continuity. That's what he said. So I'm glad to hear that you are, that you want to play, that you're going to be playing winter ball if the political landscape gets better in Venezuela. That's great to hear, man.
In Venezuela, man, Venezuela's also it's a hard league,
Yes, it is. David Ortiz, Big Papi, David Ortiz said that playing winter ball in Dominican Republic and the atmosphere, the pressure that the fans put on you, have you so ready to play in the majors, because you will never face that kind of atmosphere right here in the States. Do you agree with that? It's the same way in Venezuela?
Oh, Venezuela, I think it's way louder and more people in Venezuela than in DR.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched the games, and me being Cuban, it's the same way in Cuba, right? Cuba, DR, Venezuela, the atmosphere for those teams are insane. The fans are crazy. Obviously, Venezuela and DR is going to be even more because you guys have major league players playing over there. Whereas in Cuba, we don't have that chance, right? We don't have
Yeah.
major league players playing over there. So, man, that's great to hear. I'm glad you know, because not many rookies at 19 years old, 18 years old are doing this, because they think that what they're doing is enough. But if you can do more, you will get farther, especially in baseball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just have to put your mind to it. You can never be okay with what you've done so far. You always got to look for more. You always got to want more, because that's the only way that you'll succeed at a fast rate. Because if you just, if you had an okay season and you just sit back and, I did that, I did this, I'm good, I'm okay. I'll probably do a little bit more and I'll get moved up. No, the point is that if you're doing good, try to do better. If you're doing better, try to do even better.
Even better.
So that's how a baseball player will succeed quick to the major leagues or to any league that you wanna improve to.
Yeah.
And that's what's wrong with players nowadays, that they take everything for granted. They play, they hit a couple of home runs, steal a couple bases, make a couple of plays, and they'll be okay with it. But in baseball, you can never be okay with anything. Even when you're in the MLB, you can never be okay with the season you had. You always got to strive for more and more and more, because the finish line is ending into the Hall of Fame. Yep. That's what everyone wants, and as we know, it's not easy to get into.
It's not. It's one of the hardest things to ever do. That and winning a World Series is not. It's none of it is guaranteed. So you should play the best that you can at all times, because yes, whether you could get there, that you'll be helping your team, you'll be helping yourself, more importantly, right? So yeah, they never be satisfied is one of my mottos, right? Now I want to ask you because I want to ask you a question about your dad. Your dad was a prospect with the Expos back in the day, and he was a pitcher. Unfortunately, he had the horse riding accident, and he injured his arm. How did that impact you, and how did that make you want to be a pitcher? Growing up, seeing him pitch, seeing him get to the minor leagues, did that make you want to be a pitcher? Because I know right now you're playing right field, but in high school you were playing outfield and you were also pitching. Was your dad being a pitcher have an impact on you wanting to also be a pitcher?
Definitely, he made a big impact because, when I was 1 year old, I was going to my dad's games. I used to see him pitch. Like he was basically my role model. Like I wanted to be like him. The way he pitches, the way he thinks, the way he accomplished, the games, the way he approached the game, the way his mentality was. Everything influenced me to want to be like him. But at the end of the day, man, God gave me a talent where I could pitch and hit. So ever since I was a kid, I've been hitting and pitching, and I just, I got really good at it. And they used to always ask me, what do you rather, be a pitcher or be a hitter? And I could never answer the question because I love both the same, So it's hard for me to say, I want to be a pitcher, I want to be a hitter, because, I developed both of the things at the same time. And I accomplished getting to master it.
Yeah.
So it's like it was hard for me, but at the end of the day, it's whatever the team wants. If they want me to be a pitcher, I'll be a pitcher, no problem. They want me to be a hitter, I'll be a hitter. And the Astros, well, not the Astros, but the scout that signed me, they spoke to me. They did the home visit, and they told me that they were going to sign me as a pitcher and a hitter, something that they'd never done before. But when I got to the complex, it was just defense and hitting, and I guess they didn't want my talent on defense and my bat to go away, because that's what most of the teams look for nowadays, hitters. Yeah. And because hitting is not an easy thing to do,
It's not. It's the hardest thing to do in all sports.
Yeah. So, I just stuck with hitting, but I always say if hitting doesn't work out for me, I can always go back to pitching because that's my second tool.
Yeah, because
So
I know that people were calling you the Venezuelan Shohei Ohtani, right?
Ohtani.
Coming up, and it's always an intriguing thing because we see what Shohei Ohtani is doing, right? But I saw you pitching 90 miles an hour at 15 years old, right? And you're striking out batters. You're hitting home runs. You're hitting doubles. You're hitting the gap. So it's like, okay, there is something here. Well, maybe not Shohei Ohtani per se, because you're so young, right? But let's see what's going to happen with him because he definitely has two-way talent. Now, do you at all keep your pitching like up to date? Do you still practice it? Do you still pitch around, even though you're not pitching right now? Do you still maintain it?
I mean, in the off season, I do throw bullpens with my dad. Like when we work out, let's say I'll do defense, I'll hit, and then afterwards, I'll be like, Dad, let me just throw bullpen, working my pitches, see if if I still got it.
Okay.
But I still got it.
Still
I've been
got it.
throwing my bullpen, my pitches, hitting my spots, and everything. So, and right now, since I feel a lot more stronger, I'm pretty sure I can hit 100 miles per hour if I put my work into
Yeah.
it fully. But because when I got out of high school, the hardest I threw was 97.
97. Yeah, I
That was 2
saw
years
that.
ago.
I have it in my
Yeah.
notes. I saw that you were pitching 97 miles an hour coming up in your senior year in high school. And I was impressed. I was like, he is 18 years old pitching 97 miles an hour. So it's like, and you have the body, you have the frame for it, so your body can sustain it. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's impressive. To be able to do both at a high level is impressive. And I see that right now you're coming into your power. You just hit 10 home runs last year. How was that for you? Like you finally coming into the power, tapping into that power now that your body's developing even more.
Well, for me, I feel like I've always had power, but the thing for me is finding a spot on where to hit the ball. Like I'll make really hard contact, but like my power will, or I'll hit the ball really bad, but my contact will be bad. So for me, it's more of finding where to make good contact so my power can follow through. Because you'll be at times that I'll make really good contact and I wouldn't use not even 70% of my power and the ball would just fly, because I have pop. But for my power, for me, it's like getting comfortable on making the right decisions when the pitches come, making the right contact, which will follow through with my power.
All right.
So, I mean, for me, I think I had an all right season. Other people say that I had a great season that it's hard to hit 10 home runs in minor league because pitchers are wild and this and that. So I feel like if like right now, I feel way more comfortable hitting. My power is great. My contact is getting there because I feel way better on the batter's box. But man, if I just keep on doing what I'm doing right now, this year my goal is to hit 25 home runs.
25 home runs this 25. Year. That's a good goal to have, man. I'm telling you are a hitter. You even if you fall short of it, at least you have a goal in mind. You have your eyes on it, and that's the one thing you can do, right? Now, have you been working in the off season? Have you been working on exactly what you're talking about right now, finding the sweet spot for you to where you feel comfortable when you're swinging? You can actually bring all of your power into it and make good contact at the same time.
Yes, I've been working on that.
Now, we talked about your dad and how he has helped you. How has your mom helped you? because we never talk about the moms, right? We always talk about dad because dad is the one that is the sports fan or plays sports and gets the kids out there playing sports. How has your mom been instrumental to you in your career? Because whether it's TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, I always see her in comments supporting you. How has she been instrumental to you, as a person and to you as a player?
Well, she's been, what can I say, man? She's been like the best supportive mom that I've ever had. And that goes for my stepmom too. That she lives here with me, that I always be with her every day. But my mom is different because, she hasn't seen me in 10 years. I left her basically when I was a baby boy.
Yeah.
And for her to, being consistent and always cheering up for me, even though she's far away, she's still there for me, whatever I need. If I need to, talk to her, I need to relieve stress, whatever, she's always there for me. She's always cheering me up on my worst days. And since she's so far away, I always try to keep going. I always try to do good to make her and my family proud. I've always, kept my family first, always, because they're not here with me. They lost. I've lost 10 years with them.
Yep.
Because I had to come over here and, look for better opportunities for my future, which they understood.
Yep.
So that's one thing that that's sacred to me is my mom and my uncles and my grandpa that recently passed away. But yeah, I always keep them in my heart and I always keep them in mind, and that's the thing that fuels me when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
That's great to hear, man. When I first came to the States, I was 12, but my mom left when I was 7. So I also had that gap, right, where I didn't see my mom, right? So I understand exactly what you're going through with that because, I've lived it. So I know exactly how hard and difficult it is, to leave or they leave, right? And you're not with them, especially when you're so close to them, right? So I can definitely understand your experience, man. It's tough. It's very tough.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man. Let me see. I have a couple of questions right here. So, right now, one of my favorite things about you in the minors is not your batting, it's your arm. I love a right fielder who can pick off runners on third and at home base. How does that arm strength, you think it's a carryover from your pitching days?
I don't know. I mean, from my pitching days, I've always thrown hard, always. But from the outfield, man, it's like a whole different thing because, when I'm going to throw the ball, like I have momentum towards where I'm going to throw the ball. So that gives my arm like more like a push.
Yeah.
To throw the ball harder and then obviously with the accuracy. But man, I would think so. Yes, I would say that it helped, coming from pitching helped me a lot with the accuracy because a lot of outfielders, a lot of young outfielders, they'll throw hard but they'll throw wild.
Yeah.
Which is a normal thing to do because you're coming down, you're moving, you're throwing the ball in a rush to try and get a runner out, and maybe you'll pick it or you'll throw it over their head, which is 99% of most of the time that outfielders do. But with the accuracy, man, that's where it's at. Like you can have a regular arm or you can have a hard arm, but if you don't have accuracy, then what's the point of throwing hard?
Yeah, because I was watching. I
truly believe. Yeah, I truly believe that it came from my pitching side.
Yeah, I was watching one of your games, and you you yourself had all three outs in that inning, and I think it was either a tie game or they were going to take the lead. You had you got there was a hit. You threw it to third base and caught one stealing or caught one a runner at third base, and then you had a fly ball and it was a hit and run, and then you caught the fly ball and then you threw it home and you got the runner on home plate too. So you got all three outs in that game, and that's what made me pay attention to your arm, your defense, right? Because it's very hard, like you said, it's very hard to be accurate and throw with that much power, right? Especially from right field, right? You have because like you say, you have to be rushing, you have to worry about catching the ball first, and then making the smart play, knowing whether it's third base or home plate. So yeah, that is what was one of my favorite plays from you from last season. It was that one inning
Yeah, that was against Boston.
against the okay.
Yeah, that was against Boston, man. We were rivals so bad that week because the first two games, I believe we won, and then they came back and they won two games, so we were tied.
Okay.
And that fifth game, man, was just, I think the score was like 10 to 9 or 11 to 10. We ended up winning it. And that's when I made the three outs by myself that I ended up winning. I ended up saving those two runs from scoring from right field.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we was hitting, we was scoring back and forth. I think, that was the game that we went extra innings. Two games, we went extra innings. One of them, they won one of them, and the second one, we won it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that week was, I like that matchup that week because we both were just going at it.
Yeah, it was a heavyweight fight, if you will. Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. Yeah, that's what really tuned me into your defensive and pay attention to you, not just as a hitter, but also as a right fielder, right? Because that's one of my. I think that is baseball fans all across the world's favorite thing. It's an outfielder who can pick off runners from the outfield. I don't know if you've seen Joanny Cespedes all the way in left field with that cannon making that throw at home plate and the out at home plate. That I think is one of I think that is everyone's favorite outfielder play right there because it's so exciting to see. So yeah, man, that to me that was a huge moment for you. I was like, yeah, the kid has a cannon and he can hit. So this is a prospect to keep my eyes on. Because this is what I do, man. I love prospecting. I love following the trajectory of players from high school all the way until they get to the major leagues, or to see how their career unfolds. Right? It is one of my favorite things to do is just seeing the entire trajectory. I have one last question for you, and it's also regarding your dad. You said that with your signing bonus, you wanted to help him start a baseball academy. How is that going? How those dreams that you guys have you guys been able to get something going? Is something in the works? How is that going for you guys?
Well, in Venezuela, you know how the conditions are. There is triple, quadruple the players that used to be before. Now every little kid on the streets, they're playing baseball, they're working out. If you go to the fields at 2, 3 in the afternoon, you see the stadiums are packed of kids working out and practicing baseball because, they want to make a living. They want an opportunity to get out the country to play somewhere else,
Yeah.
so they can have a better future, they can have a better life for themselves. And right now, man, it's been going great. You know, my dad, he bought 3 houses, and he bought a acre in Venezuela where well they're building it right now, but we're building like batting cage, like 2 batting cages. We're building a mini infield, like for the infielders, and we're also building a weight room. And you know, just for fun and games, we're also building a basketball court. But we have so much space because it's a whole land.
Yeah.
So later on, you know, when I start getting money and my dad started getting more money and he starts saving and putting it into the academy, you know, we'll build more stuff and make it bigger. But so far right now, my dad has 2 prospect pitchers that are projected to be, you know, high rankings. So my dad will go to Venezuela this May, and he'll be out there for 6 months. He'll be working out with the pitchers. You know, he'll be teaching them how to pitch, and I mean they already know how to pitch, but he'll be developing them more, because all the players that my dad signed when he was in Venezuela, they don't play anymore, and only 2 of them are helping my dad with the academy. So when my dad goes back, you know, he'll take charge, and he'll start teaching the kids the right way, and you know, he'll do everything himself because he's the mastermind behind all of it. You know.
Yeah.
Just like he was with me. So it's better he do it than instead of having somebody else do it for him.
Of course.
So yeah, man, we have 2 prospects, 2 pitchers that are gonna be really, really good. So the academy is going good so far, but we only have 2 players. And we also don't want to get like a lot of players, because what's the point of having a lot of players if you can't really develop them one by one?
Yeah.
So he rather, you know, take 2 players that are 10 years old, 2 players that are 12, and 2 players that are 14. You know, and my dad would develop them, teach them the right way, actually spend alone time with them so they can focus on what they're working on. And when I go back to Venezuela, you know, I'll be scouting with my dad. We'll be scouting for hitters. We'll be scouting for outfielders, for infielders, because his main thing is pitching.
Okay.
And as of the past 2 years, my main thing is hitting. So I'll be you know, the eye for the outfields, the infielders, and the hitting.
Okay.
So we can both get into not only a pitcher's academy, but a whole concept of players.
A full blown complex, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. So you guys are gonna make it pretty much like a family baseball academy, if you will, to start off.
To start off, yes, but as long, how do I say it? As we get more money, as we sign more players, as we get more exposure, then we'll start, you know, bringing in more players. We'll start bringing coaches, more staff. It's not gonna be a lot because, you know, my whole family plays baseball. On my mom's side, they all play baseball, so you know they all know about baseball, so they can really work for us.
Yeah.
And so we won't have to be out there, and you know, and it also helps because it's in the family. You know, you don't have no one. You have everyone's trust. You don't have no one trying to stab you in the back over this and this and that.
Yeah.
So it's.
Hey man, if you wanna plug the academy name, just say the name right here. You know, like give it some exposure, right?
Yeah, the academy's name is Ochoa Academy. So you know how my last name is Ochoa?
Yeah.
So it's a O-C-H, a letter A, and then an A.
Okay.
So the logo is going to be an A and then an A across it. Like Ocho is 8.
Yeah.
Ocho is 8.
Yeah.
And then Ochoa is the last name. So it's like it
okay. Okay, so Ochoa Academy.
Ochoa Academy.
So OCH 8A?
OCH8A.
Got
Yes.
it. Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes in the description of the video. That way, people can, any Venezuelan that watches this, right, they know it's right here. There is an academy for them that is going to turn into a full blown complex eventually. Right now, you guys are getting off the ground, and I think that's great, man. I think that's great because Venezuelan players right now, they're really raking. Look at Luis Arraez, what he's doing, right? Luis Arraez, I think he was last year he had the highest batting average in all of MLB. I think he's had it like two years in a row, you know. So then you have, of course, Altuve. You know about him. That's your team. Ronald Acuna, right? Contreras, Jimenez, right? There's so many Venezuelan players coming up right now. It used to be DR at the top of the list, but now we have Venezuela also coming up with the talent, with amazing players, right? So it's great to see another academy for more Venezuelan players, more kids that want to start on their journey to baseball, because making it here, that's the dream, especially for international prospects, right? That's the dream right there. So I'm glad you guys are doing well, man. I want to say congratulations to you guys. And if there is anything you want to say to your Venezuelan people in Spanish, man, go for it.
And sigan trabajando. Primero que tenga Dios, número uno. Hagan las cosas bien. No tengan la cabeza abajo y siempre sigan luchando. Siempre. No importa lo que pase, dejen los problemas personales fuera del campo. Cuando estén en el campo, enfóquense en su trabajo y cuando terminen ya se preocupan de todo lo demás, pero cuando están trabajando, que se enfoquen en lo suyo porque ese tiempo es sagrado. El día de hoy no lo vamos a vivir más nunca. No vamos a tener la misma oportunidad que tuvimos hoy, mañana. Entonces que sigan luchando, que sigan en la pelea y que bueno, que mantenga la bandera de Venezuela al número uno.
En alto, pues claro. Bueno, Nehomar, I want to say thank you, for giving me the opportunity to interview you. You have been the first prospect to be right here on the channel. I want to say thank you for that. Right? I'm trying to. I want people like me and baseball fans to know who they're rooting for. Right? To know the players in the farm system. And I am a card collector, right? And as you can see, this is your card right here. As a card collector, we don't know much information about prospects like you and others, right? So my main goal with this is I want you guys to get to know, like to introduce yourself to the world via this podcast, and I want prospectors and baseball fans and card collectors to have a place where they can come and see the players they're investing in, they're collecting, the players they're rooting for, right? Because prospecting is a major part of card collecting, right? So that is the goal with this channel, right? And I want to say thank you to you for being here. And if you have any other prospects that want to put themselves out there, I am not opposed for you to let them know about me, right? And we can put them right here. We can hear their story, see how their life is going, how their journey through baseball is going, because I know it's not easy. I know, it's a lot better now than it was back in the 90s, because I don't know if you watched the baseball interviews from the 90s, the players, they're talking about how they barely made any money back in the day, living 7 to a house because they could barely afford it, right? It's much better now. So, we're making way for prospects in baseball, and I just want people to tell their story and their journey, just like you have done today right here.
And I'll definitely talk to other prospects about you, and I'll be sending you their information too, because, people like you, that want to get to know other players and that want to work themselves up to, being known for interviewing prospects or really any player, like, because not everyone has the ability to make them a name for themselves. So being down right now, you want to get as much help as you want.
Yeah.
So it would be like a big exposure for the players and also for you. So I'll definitely talk to other players about you, man. And I'll send you other info, and you'll just talk to them and set it up yourself, and
All right, man. Thank you.
from there go on. Yes, sir. You're welcome.
All right, man.
Especially since you're Cuban, because my stepmom's Cuban too.
Oh, for real? Is she really now?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So let me guess. You're listening to some reparto or anything like that right now?
Oh no, not right now. I'll be listening to my thing is salsa.
Okay.
Venezolana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she definitely be listening to Los Cuatros, to Gente de Zona,
Yeah.
Bebecito,
Yeah.
all those singers, you know how it is.
So
Yeah.
let me guess. Are you eating Cuban food now?
Oh, I eat Cuban and Venezuelan food.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my wife, she makes the best Cuban food, man.
Man, I bet. You be enjoying it every day, huh?
Oh, every day. Every day, man. It's can't go out there without it, man. Can't go out there without it. Can't go without it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, have a good rest of your night. Thank you for sitting down with me. It was a pleasure meeting you. And I hope you absolutely rake in 2025. And I know today was your first game. And I hope you have all the success in the world moving forward this season, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Means a lot. Hopefully, in God's name.
All right, man. Thank you for sitting down with me.
Yes, sir.
And there you guys have it. That was Nehomar Ochoa Jr., a prospect with the Houston Astros. He's currently in low A. And go follow him. Go on his Instagram. Go follow his trajectory. The kid is a stud. He is absolutely raking. He is, like I said, great right fielder, great defensive right fielder. He has a cannon of an arm. He has a ton of power. If you guys like prospects with power, he is one to watch right now. So thank you for watching this interview. I'll be trying to get you guys other prospects like you heard me and Nehomar Ochoa speak about. He's going to try to get me in contact with other prospects. Shameless. We're trying to grow the channel. We want to bring more prospects for you guys, the viewers. I get to interview them. I get to know them, but I want you guys to know them too. Because like I told Ochoa, I am a card collector. I have his card right here. I am a card collector, and this is a way for us to get to know the players that we are collecting. We don't know anything about these players unless they are in the top 100. And even then, it is such a small sample size that we know from these players. So I just want this channel to be that. Give you guys the opportunity to meet the players that you are collecting. With that being said, I want to say thank you for watching this video. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.